then, of course, there was a shot of the Holiday Inn where Ed Begley Jr. has just arrived, and he'll be back tomorrow to do our show, we're happy to say. Our next guest could be called the producer's producer. On his own and along with his partner, Aaron Spelling, he is responsible for such television shows as Charlie's Angels, Love Boat, Fantasy Island, Heart to Heart, The Rookies, Family, Starsky and Hutch, T.J. Hooker, and so many others. And, of course, the ones I just mentioned are all hits. He is Leonard Goldberg. And I thought you'd be on the Love Boat cruise to China.
No, I'm eating all my Chinese food in Los Angeles still,
really?
Yes.
That's quite a deal there. Everybody went over to China to do, I guess, filming on the way to China.
Yeah, it's going to be turned into about 3 different shows, 3 different 2-hour shows, and it's probably the best cast ever assembled for Love Boat.
What we haven't mentioned is the fact that you are also the producer of a film that is going to be one of the biggest this summer, War Games, that a lot of people are talking about. In the theater down the street every night, they've been lined up around the block to get in.
Isn't that great?
Yeah. You've done feature films before, haven't you?
Yes, Aaron and I did a number of feature films while we were doing most of our television shows, but we kind of did them in our spare time, so to speak, on weekends and nights and so on. And we had a lot of fun, but this is the first film I've really devoted a great deal of time to. We started it working on it in November 1979, so it's 3.5 years.
Has it been that long since they've started?
Yeah, it has. And when we first started working on the script, as you know, it involves a lot about computers and a lot about our nuclear defense system. And everybody said to me, no, not computers, Len, video games. Video games, it should be about video games. Nobody knows about computers. Computers, you say computers, they see IBM. And nobody except the people at IBM will go to see the movie. And I said, well, I think computers are coming. And they said, no, computers will never be coming.
And this was 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. Yeah. So you hit it right on target, though, because, I mean, now that's the hottest thing going.
Yes, we were fortunate. Actually, the picture was delayed 3 different times, but as it worked out, the timing was perfect. Yeah. It was.
Well, Disney did something with a video game thing last year, Tron.
Tron, yes.
And that did very poorly. So...
Yes.
I guess, I don't know, what is it, the Spelling Goldberg magical touch. You just seem to hit it right.
I don't know about that. I think the reason, and it's been very exciting to stand outside the theaters and listen to the people coming out, and I think the most exciting thing and the most rewarding thing is to see how positive they feel after they see the movie. It kind of leaves them feeling good, feeling up, feeling positive about a subject matter that a lot of people feel very negatively about and feel kind of hopeless about. And I think one of the things the film leaves you with is a feeling that there is an answer, there is a solution, it is possible. You know, we're not doomed to a nuclear war. And I think in the 2 young people we have in the film, Ali Sheedy and Matthew Broderick, is the hope for tomorrow. And I think there is hope. I mean, it was made as an entertainment film, not as a documentary, although the New York Times and some other major newspapers are discussing it as if it were a documentary. It's not. It's an entertainment film. And I think it's an uplifting film that the whole family can see.
Yesterday we had the technical consultant on, Don Williams.
Don, yes.
And Don said that the Defense Department has refused to comment on the film.
Well, it was interesting. The posture they've taken is if you talk to the information officer at NORAD or at SAC headquarters or the Pentagon, they say, we've seen the film, we find it a very entertaining film, but it's science fiction, not science fact. We have no further comment. This has been a recording, you know.
Do you get into home computers yourself?
To tell you the truth, Bill, I can't turn on a light switch. I am that mechanical. So this film was a particular challenge for me, you know. But fortunately, John Badham, our director, handles them very, very well and is very at ease with them. So I watched.
So was it the story that attracted you and not the technical knowledge?
I think what attracted me was the first time I heard the story, it was a very compelling story, it was a very human story, and it was a story I'd never heard before, and that's hard to find. But I think, as I guess Tron proved last year, you can have the most fantastic effects in the world, but if you don't have people, you're just kind of watching flashing objects on a screen.
See, is that your secret with not only this, but television, the people? I mean, all your characters and all the shows that you've done, I mean, they stand out.
Thank you very much. I think that once you have a basic concept, I think thereafter you have to cast it with people who the audience cares about. Somebody once said with regard to television series, it's a close-up of somebody's face. And if they like them, they come back next week, and if they don't, they don't. Next case. And I think that's an oversimplification, but a lot of it is true.
You started so many new trends, and I guess probably began before Charlie's Angels, but I guess Charlie's Angels was really the one that sticks in everybody's mind most. The flashy, beautiful women, and great costumes, which, has gone on into your other shows. Is that one of your secrets also? I don't want you to give all your secrets away.
I give all my secrets. Everybody will know. No, what happened with Charlie's Angels was the fact that television had just gone through a period of naturalism. Everybody was interested in reality, and everything had to be back alleys and real and gritty and documentary. And it was getting kind of boring to watch. It wasn't much fun to watch it. It wasn't very glamorous or exciting. And so I felt that, since time immemorial, if you put a pretty girl on a screen or a magazine cover, somebody would watch it or read it or buy it. And I felt that glamour was totally lacking from television. And so Charlie's Angels, three beautiful girls, a fantasy boss whom you never got to meet named Charlie, and we put them in kind of exotic, colorful shows and dressed them, as you said, beautifully. We have the wardrobe bills to prove it. And, it just really caught on. It was surprising. We thought we had a shot at a good show and a successful show, but never dreamed that it would hit the heights it hit.
How do you deal with the stardom aspect of it? Because, of course, it all got in the papers, that this one wanted that one, and that one wanted this one, and here you are, the producer of it. Does it get out of hand?
Yes, sometimes yes. Sometimes it gets out of hand. It's particularly difficult in a show where you have three beautiful women, and at varying times the press gave more or less attention to one or the other, and it was we had to balance it out and try to keep everybody happy. It was very hard. And then when Farrah decided she wanted to leave the show, that came as a big surprise to us. And that was not a pleasant situation. It was an unpleasant situation. But we were very fortunate. In came Cheryl Ladd, and the show went on just as big as before. And I think in that one show, when you think about the ladies who came out of that show, Kate Jackson, Jackie Smith, Farrah Fawcett, Cheryl Ladd, Shelley Hack, I think it's a pretty good record for one television show.
And it's interesting, too, that you can replace them and not lose the popularity.
Yeah, that was
interesting. Is it all what you put around them?
Well, I think it depends on the show. I think if you're doing a show like Kojak, the show pretty much revolves around Telly Savalas. I think Charlie's Angels, although certainly the ladies were very important, I think perhaps they're somewhat more replaceable. In Heart to Heart, if R.J. Wagner decided he'd had enough, we just stopped, because you can't replace him. I mean, there's only one Bob Wagner.
We're going to take a little break, come back, and not only talk more about television, but see a clip from War Games and talk about more of that with Leonard Goldberg. Hope you'll stay with us.